I'm Mark Donarski. I'm 54 years old. I'll be 54 years old in December here. I'm from Argyle, Minnesota. I was born and raised from Carol and AJ Donarski. I grew up in Argyle. I went to Argyle High School. I was sitting in high school one day. I was like a junior in high school, and I saw my cousin Brian Donarski come walking by. I was in the library, and he was walking down the hall, and I seen this guy with dress blues on. And I go, hey, that guy looks pretty sharp. And I go, hey, that's my cousin Brian. So and he was recruiting for the Marine Corps.
Really?
Yep. And I went and talked to him, and I go, hey, Brian, what's going on? And he goes, hey, Mark, I just got out of the Marine Corps. I got from leave, and I'm recruiting for the Marine Corps. Or he just got a boot camp, and I go, wow, that's cool. So let me have some literature. And then my next year, I enlisted into the Marine Corps in October of 1988, right after high school. I went into the Marine Corps. I did 4 years in the Corps, wonderful years. I was in the first Gulf War.
Let's start, Mark, let's go back, if you don't mind.
Yep.
Let's go back and start, where were you inducted at? Where did you take the oath?
Oh, I got inducted in MEPS in Fargo.
MEPS in Fargo?
Yeah, MEPS in Fargo. What was that? It used to be, what was it called there? Yeah, MEPS, Military.
Yeah, my daughter worked there. Yep.
Yep. Right next to Shakey's Pizza.
Right.
You got the pizza, you got the inducted, yeah.
So you get inducted.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you go from there?
When I got inducted, I had to wait like maybe 2 months, I think. I had to wait before, because they pushed me up. I wasn't supposed to go until like January, but then October, I went in on October. It was the Friday the 13th I went in on, and I got out on October. It was Halloween, so it was kind of like, Halloween or whatever. But yeah, I basically went back to Fargo in October, and then they put me on a flight to Hotel California out in San Diego, MCRD.
Oh, tough, huh?
Yeah.
So basic training?
Basic training, yeah, we had 13 weeks of basic training, I think we had.
Can you tell me what basic training was like?
Basic training was a little intimidating at first. Me coming from the Argyle High School, which was a football player by Warren Keller, he taught me a lot of discipline and a lot of, I was pretty much in shape, I thought, but going through basic training was quite a learning experience. They always told me to watch your P's and Q's and don't let the drill instructors know your name at all, So when I went through basic training, I actually went in with a friend of mine, Bill Tim. He was a classmate of mine, and we went in together, so I kind of knew somebody. But getting off the plane in San Diego, and then getting that drill instructor coming on, just like you see in the movies, the first and the last thing come out of your next will be sir. Do you understand that? Yes, sir. And then all of a sudden, bullshit, I can't hear you. It's sir, yes, sir. It's always sir by the numbers and everybody, So it was pretty intimidating at first for a lot of folks, but for me, I didn't really get intimidated. I knew what I was getting into, and I went through basic training pretty easy, I thought. I didn't have any troubles,
Give me a day in basic training that you went through.
We're up at 05. We get reveille at 05. Make your racks, get online, do a little inspection, and then they march us to the chow hall. We eat at like 06 usually, and then we do some physical training, whatever it was. We do run for like we have to do at least 60 sit-ups. We had to try to do 21 pull-ups, and then we'd run for 3 miles. And then we do a lot of knowledge learning about they did a lot of history about the Marine Corps. We'd have to go sit in class and understand all the history of wars and stuff. The Marine Corps put a lot of respect into history, so we do a lot of learning. And then, then we spent 3 weeks at the rifle range, I thought, so becoming a rifleman.
How'd you qualify?
I qualified expert.
Expert.
Yeah.
Here you go.
But then I came back and I hunted with my dad. I couldn't hit a deer. Couldn't hit a deer from broadside of a barn. So he goes, "You're an expert. You came hit a deer 100 yards out." But yeah, so yeah, it was pretty easy. Then we'd learn. Then obviously we'd have 3 meals a day. We'd give our lunch at about noon, 12 o'clock, 1200, whatever, and then we'd go back and do whatever, some more combat training. You know. Whatever it was, on the field for.
So did you do crawling under barbed wire,
yep.
gas?
I mean, it wasn't every day like that, no. But that was part of like a week thing. You'd under can of steel wire, slide for life, hooking and jabbing, all that stuff.
What's the slide for life?
You'd have to slide down this rope, just straight down, jump over the walls. That wasn't, that was like a warfare training thing. That was like a 2-week thing where you had to go and you'd blow up bombs and stuff, becoming,
Did you do like Army, crawl under machine gun fire?
Yes. I don't know if it was live fire. It could have been with the BSA stuff, but we did get to shoot, the M60s, the automatic grenade launchers, the SOD, automatic weapons, throw hand grenades. We got to throw all that stuff live, But and that was not every day thing, but every day was basically you had to shine your shoes, keep your uniform intact.
What was it barracks like?
We had a squad bay of 60 people were in it.
Brick, wood.
It was bricks. It was like a apartment building, three layers. We had. First, I was in 1117 platoon. There were 60 folks in our platoon that started. We lost 2 of them right away, and then they come back with a different. Cause they were little kind of shitbirds. We call them. They were kind of, they were needed a little more corrective custody or something like that. Whatever we call
Gomer
them.
piles.
Yeah, they were. Yep. But yeah, we were all on a line. We had a bunkmate. We had bunks all along the line. You could never ever walk down the middle of the squad bay. You always had to go out and around. Swept. Our rifles were right next to us. Slept with our rifles. We were always cleaning our rifles, and every day we had to clean them. You knew it,
What kind of rifle?
M16.
Okay.
Had to know the rifleman's creed. I still know some of it, but it's all right. Yeah. So yeah, you get the bunkmate. My bunkmate. The first time I ever met a black person. I never knew that. And he was funnier than heck. And Dameron, he was from Michigan, somewhere in Michigan. But it was funny because we had this one thing where we were going on a hump, and they wanted us to drink a lot of water because it was really hot. It was January too in California, so it was super hot. But they wanted us to drink a bunch of water, and we had to drink like our 2 canteens before we went on this hump. Well, my buddy Dameron, my bunkmate, he could not drink it. And if you didn't drink it, you had to freaking run up and down, bend and thrust, whatever. But so I always helped him. I'd grab the water and I'd drink his water for him, chug it down. Yeah. And we got mail call like once a week. I thought they gave us mail call from that. And then everybody would get their little treats from their parents.
Care packages.
Yeah, and they'd have to eat them all on deck, or they'd never get to see them. Sometimes depends upon what you were,
Yeah.
So yeah. It went really fast, I thought. The
13 weeks.
13 weeks went really fast.
Do you have a graduation?
Yes, we had a graduation. We marched. Yeah.
Your folks come down for that? Or?
No. A lot of folks. I mean, some people did. Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, it's whoever was. It's like if you were west of the Mississippi, you went to MCRD, and if you were east of Mississippi, you went to South Carolina. I can't. My name forgets me here. My good buddy went there.
So they split you up like that?
Yeah, there's two basic training recruits. The WMs all go to South Carolina, Parris Island, South Carolina.
Okay.
And then.
It had to be a little muggy.
Yeah, I never got to go to South Carolina though.
Yeah, but you know what's
But that's funny. My basic training was all out west, but then my orders got cut to North Carolina, which is 2nd Marine Division, out in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina.
For AIT?
That's where I based out of. Yeah.
So Camp Lejeune, you've seen all the commercials.
Yeah. I was like a year after that. So, and I don't know. I've never pursued it, or I'm not gonna.
Well, if you don't have anything.
Yeah, I don't have any symptoms. You know, I don't feel it. And I talked to a good friend of mine that was there. during that time, and he's not pursuing it either. You know what I mean? He was in that, like right at the cutoff line, 1987, getting out,
Okay.
but yeah.
Say, AIT,
AIT, yeah. Oh,
Advanced Infantry Training, or
I didn't.
Your second
no,
school?
I went into subsistence. I wanted to go into my recruiter. I wanted to get into air. I wanted to become an aircraft mechanic kind of guy. But obviously, he said, well, at this time your MOS is all full. But if you go in as like open supply, you will be able. We could probably get you in. But you know, obviously none of that happened. So my MOS when I graduated, they said I was going to be a subsistence supply, which means I'd be issuing out MREs, all the food, everything to the chow halls, wherever, you know. So
and you're still in San Diego now, or
no, now I'm North Carolina.
you're in North Carolina?
I had to go to school for I think it was 3 months for the subsistence supply clerk. It's basically called, where you have to, you know, all non-perishable and perishable items you have to go get, receive, keep track, issue it out to the chow hall, however you go get, you know, just
So-
basically a store clerk.
What were living quarters there?
We got into the barracks. There's three people that lived in the barracks. There was probably and again it was like a 3-story apartment.
Like cubicles, like?
These are cubicles, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, and there we'd have sometimes anywhere from 3 to 2 people that would be residing in the barracks here.
Okay.
You know, and we would, you know, being a subsistence supply clerk I was attached to the 3rd Battalion, 2nd Marine Division, and there's all the grunts, all the infantrymen. So wherever they went, I went. You know, I was with we call it hide and slide or whatever. It's a HS company, and we would have to go. You know, I'd have to follow wherever the cooks went. I'd have to follow them. And whenever they went to the field, we'd go to the field. We'd have to cook out in the field, and have to issue them all the foods and the hot meals.
So you never got hungry?
I never went hungry. No, and there's some good to that, because when I went on a ship, we went into the Gulf War, or I've been on a ship like a whole year. I went to the Northern Atlantic, the Mediterranean, the Far East, and there's one other place, but it was you know, when I went on ship, my MOS was taken care of by the Navy. So
Okay.
they threw me and my butt in the galley. So I got to learn how to cook then. So
Navy was your ride.
Navy was my ride, yep. And we got to work with the Navy cooks, and then we had some Marine cooks too that would go, you know, attached to each company. And so no, yeah, I never ever went hungry. And when you're in that food industry, when you're on ship, when you're isolated like that, everybody's got to eat.
They said Navy food was good.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. We had steaks, we had roast beef, we had everything. You know, it was good food. I liked it.
So where was the ship going?
We were the first time I went on ship we were in the Far East. We were in Japan, Okinawa, Japan, and my first pump we went over to. We did like a North Korean pump. We had to go do a little exercise out in North Korea, where we got actually attached to my infantry platoons, Kila, Lima, and India Company. So we were actually like in security. We jumped off the helicopter, or we flew off the helicopter, threw off this LPH-10 ship with the helicopter. We had to go serve with the H&S Company. So
Remember
we
what
were
kind
security.
of helicopter?
Yeah, CH-46 the first time I went off one. Scary as heck. First time getting in that thing, and I think the dang helicopter, what do you call it, the pilot was kind of messing with us because he knew we were all kind of rookies or whatever, green. And we were with H&S, the headquarters of the supply company. And it seemed like he pulled off that deck of the LPH-10 I was on, and he just like dropped down to the sea. It's like, oh no, we're going down. You know, I'm going, what the heck? And then he just pulled it up, and we fly over and we land.
Till you dead air?
Dead air, yeah, yeah. Oh, it was pretty scary the first time. And then we got to come back on in the LAI, the light armored. I can't remember the name of these acronyms of these amphibious assault vehicles. We come on that way. We come on like we were in a. We ended up on a. Yeah, maybe I'm confusing myself here, but there's a couple different ways to get in and out of that ship, you know, and they basically. Sometimes we flew off, and sometimes we, you know, come in the LA.
Landing craft?
Landing craft, yeah. Yeah, I'm confusing myself with the same different story, because when we were in the Persian Gulf War, we did. I was on an LST, a landing ship tank,
Right.
and the stern gate would fall over, and the armored vehicles would go out, and then we would go out with them in. They'd float to shore and then come up, and we'd unload ourselves. That was very interesting. That was kind of scary.
This
too.
is training now, or?
No, yeah, this is when we did they call them sea soldiers, we were just preparing ourselves. We were actually in Oman. It was we did some desert training exercise out there for the Persian Gulf. We landed like 7. We did like 7 of these things. Then we'd have to go and take our guns and.
So it was training.
It was kind of training, but we would do some live fire exercise and stuff, and we'd basically just secure the command posts wherever we were at. We weren't going to go out. We weren't the front line people like our 0311 people were. Like we supported,
Okay.
But we would have to just go wherever they went. We went, and then when we went onto the desert, we never had to cook out there because there was already a battalion, or there's already a base out there that had supplied food. The helicopters would drop them in like hot chow. Like we get 1 hot plate a day. Otherwise we ate MREs.
So what's your rank now?
I was a I was an E4, and I got in a little trouble in my last 6 months. I got a little problem there, and they busted me out into E3.
And this is before you got out, or?
No,
This is why you're over there.
No. I was E3 there. When I got back from there, I was E4. And I had 6 months left, and then I was out with my friends a little bit. We had a little too much drink, and I ended up with driving under influence, and I got busted for that. So I got down. My first sergeant hated anybody that had a drinking ticket or whatever, and he busted me down to a E3. I was E4 for like almost 6 months, and then I got busted down to E3. So
Yeah, so cut and pay.
yeah. A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got out in October of '92. I got out.
So you were Desert Storm?
Yep, Desert Storm, the first one. Yeah.
Okay.
We didn't do anything. The scariest thing I was doing when I was on ship. They told us, okay, I think it was February or January, end of January, whatever. It only lasted like 14 days, right? I mean, they said that we were doing an amphibious assault. So pack your bags, put your card in your left breast pocket. You got $20. Write your last letter to your mom. And we were going up there. We were all sitting there going, "Oh my God, this is it.
Getting serious now.
This is what we signed up for." And you can see just sweating. It's like, okay, are we going to be coming back? Are we going to see each other again? Whatever, That was probably the scariest time being in the Marine Corps. It was that day that they told us about that. My sergeant came down and said, "Okay, guys, we're going." And then we basically faked out the amphibious assault and came in from the backside where Schwarzkopf had that pretty good plan of attack.
Oh, that's a blast from the past,
Yeah.
Schwarzkopf, yeah.
I mean, we didn't know nothing. We didn't get to see or hear anything about what was going on. First to go, last to know. That's what
That was pretty ugly.
Yeah, it was. We didn't see the bombing. We didn't see anything like that. We didn't have any. There was no internet. There was no TV stations and stuff like that. So. But yeah, I was very, very fortunate. I did not get to see any type of trauma or any type of, people losing people. I got to see a helicopter drop that had a malfunction. We were sitting on the fantail of a ship one time out in the Persian Gulf, and they were doing some exercise with helicopters, and all of a sudden this helicopter went down and a big plume of orange smoke, orange fire and flames come up. And then we heard on the 1MC the next day that someone lost a Marine, the Cobra, was killed just by exercise.
Just one, or?
There was the two pilots.
They were both killed?
In the Cobra. And we actually witnessed that.
On a Cobra?
Yeah, the Cobra, yeah. And then I got to see, there was some ship that was supposed to come through the Straits of Hormuz. That was a really dangerous part because, what's his name, that idiot? I can't remember him. The guy that caused all this problem. I think I hate his name.
Oh, over there.
Yeah, but they had like landmines in the Strait of Hormuz, where everybody comes out of the oil rigs and everything come out of the straits.
Yep.
Getting back into the. Well, there was some issue there where this ship was not supposed to go through there, and then they saw like a target, like a missile go across the bow of it. We got to witness that too. And, I didn't get to see hardly any live action, which I'm so grateful for. Other than. Other than
Watch out.
yeah, yeah. Not like all my other brothers that, you know, they've seen some nasty stuff, and, you know, even hearing some of the people from my parents, or like my dad's friends, Vietnam era, you know, them, they issued nasty stuff, you know, terrible. I am grateful I didn't get to see any of that.
But you served.
I did serve, yeah. When I enlisted, I always liked the Pledge of Allegiance. I always liked the American flag. I love the veterans. I just love the Vietnam veterans because, you know, my dad, my dad. My dad couldn't serve because he had flat feet or something. And you know, every day with making the poppy posters and stuff in high school. I always liked the vets, you know. And I go, someday I'll probably go in the army, blah blah blah, you know.
Now you're one.
Yeah, and now I'm one too, yeah.
So you get off, you come back to the States?
Yeah, we'd come back.
Were you overseas that long?
I was over to the seas for 8 months, yeah.
8 months.
It took us, I think, 6 days or 7 days to get across the Atlantic. And then we went right into it was fun. I got to see a lot of the world. I mean, Mediterranean tour, you know, I got to go through there, the Suez Canal, I did the ditch.
So you didn't get seasick on
I didn't get, no.
Some did.
Oh my gosh, people got sick on that ship. Unbelievable. The toughest seas that was in, we had some rough seas in Northern Atlantic. We did a North Atlantic tour also. But in the Mediterranean, because that dang, it's so shallow, and the winds pick up, it gets big seas. We were taking on 30-foot seas with this little, you know, our ship tank had a flat bottom boat, so we felt all the pound, but it was 33-degree rolls. It was rolling like this here. Everything was secure. You weren't supposed to do nothing, and it was pretty scary.
Hang on.
Yeah.
So how many on the ship? How many Marines?
There was 300 of us on the. We took care of all of Kilo. I took care of Kilo Company, which had 3 platoons, 60 platoons apiece, and we had a bunch of headquarters. Then we had all the artillery. We had all the motor T people. There was, I think, 325 Marines. And then we had 250 sailors, so it was about 550 on the ship.
So there had to be a little boredom involved here.
It was yeah, but
anybody
they
get testy or?
Oh yes, but if you did get caught fighting, you're automatically BCD'd. You know, they
Which is
bad conduct discharge. So there wasn't that many fights on the ship that
Okay.
were known about. You know what I mean? If you deserved an ass whipping, you went and got it somewhere, but nobody knew about it. You know, you couldn't just start fighting and stuff.
They do blanket parties on her?
No, we didn't have any of that stuff. No. We were in the berthing area way up front. We berthed with all our grunts, our ground pounder, they call them, and you know they became your best friends because they had to eat, right? And everybody gets hungry, and there's only one place to eat when you're on a ship, you know.
So what was the berthing like? What was it like?
We had to forward aft. I think there was like 100 of us in that thing. We had them stacked up 7 deep, 7 bunks.
High.
From bottom, yeah.
And it was just like
sardines, yeah, all men, and yeah, there were some crazy times in that berthing areas.
a little gassy in there? Or?
Not too bad, you know. I had some weird hours, so then I was a cook at that time, so I'd go in at 3 in the morning, 03, and I'd get off at 1500. And so and all the other grunts, they'd be doing their stuff up on the deck. They have to do cleaning their weapons, whatever, or shining their boots, whatever they were doing, you know. I didn't get to see them that much, you know.
So did you have a foot locker or closet?
I had a little foot locker. Yep, it was about probably 2 foot by 2 foot, little foot locker and a sea bag. You had your, you know.
Well, you did have a sea bag.
Yep.
You just left everything there.
Yep. Yeah, I think I had one set of shorts. I mean, civilian shorts, and one pair of jeans with me for civilians. You know, because we did get to port. We did port like 4 or 5 times.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
Where's some of the places you ported?
We ported in Abu Dhabi, Dubai, right? And then
That's before they had the big tower?
Yeah, this is way before all them big things come on, yeah. But it was a very rich country. It was a lot of gold, a lot of perfumes, you know. And we had poured in there because we'd have to do some maintenance on the ship, whatever, in these big shipyards. And we would get a little bit of liberty there, and we'd have to go out. But over in that country, I think that was in the United Arab Emirates. It was Dubai and in Abu Dhabi. Yeah, 2 of the ports that we kind of up. This was up in the Persian Gulf, and we were up in them probably 5-6 times during that 8-month stint. And we'd go in for like a week maybe, then we'd probably get like 3 days of liberty out in Dubai. And I bought a lot of gold out there because it was so cheap. And you know, you're sitting on ship, you can't spend hardly any money unless you lose in poker or spades or whatever card game you're playing. You're not even supposed to play poker, but we all, you know, candlelight.
Yep.
Sometimes it'd be reveille, and next time it'd be taps, you know, and we'd be still playing, you know, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did some ports in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, and yeah, we had a lot of fun in them towns. Yeah.
So on Atlantic side, did you port there too?
Yep, and when I got back to base, the main, in Jacksonville, North Carolina, which is Camp Lejeune, we worked at like the second Maldives Chow Hall. So I would get like every day I'd get bread trucks coming in, milk trucks, you know, perishable, all the perishable. You'd have to control and reefers and log everything, make sure everything was correct. And then I'd have to go get all the non-perishable stuff in a warehouse on the other side of base. I'd have to go there to get our order from my gunnery sergeant. I'd have to drive a truck all the way over to cross base and load it up. You know, it took forever, you know, then you have to do inventory and all this stuff. And then you have to issue it out to the cooks too. And my cook, like those cooks that I've, you know, they're some of my lifelong good buds. You know, some of them are not with me anymore. Some of them lost their lives to just kind of doing some getting into the wrong kind of crowd and wrong kind of things, you know, drugs and stuff. But I got a really good friend out in Buffalo, New York. I usually see you at least once or twice a year. Good friend of mine, Tom Smallrack. He's a firefighter. He went to the firefighter after his time in the Corps.
So you kept a talk.
I kept a good contact with him. Yeah. I had a good friend out in California too, Steve Gates, but he's one that passed away at a massive heart attack. He didn't make 40. But he was a big smoker, and he got into some serious drugs. So, and we tried helping him, but it was just too bad. You're the good guy. That was we had some of the best times in the Corps together.
Good.
And being on the East Coast, some of my friends, we got to go down and swoop down to Myrtle Beach. So it was in our, you know, we'd wreck 3 in the morning till 1500, and sometimes when we were back at base, we'd have a 3-watch shift. So on our 3rd watch, we'd get a 96 every like other month. So that's 96 hours off for Liberty. And we would swoop to Myrtle Beach, being like 19 years old. We'd swoop down to Myrtle Beach. And then there was some of my friends got into NASCAR. You know, that's where I kind of learned all about NASCAR because it's pretty popular in North Carolina and stuff. But God, I had a lot of fun in the Marine Corps. I mean, I met a lot of people, got to go a lot of places. And there again, you know, I'm so fortunate to get to see some of that nasty stuff that some of my vets saw. You know. Yep. Yeah, very fortunate.
It's good. So, where were you mustered out?
Mustered out.
Got released.
Oh, okay. Yeah, mustered out. See,
sorry.
No, that's fine. I had, when I was there's 7. I had 8 months left. I could either re-up, but I wasn't going to re-up. I just wanted to do my time, my 4 years, and I had like a nice GI Bill. I wanted to think I would do some of my. I actually wanted to become like an electrician or a mechanic, like an aircraft mechanic. So I didn't re-up. They wanted me to re-up. But I
was there bonus money?
Yeah, there was some bonus money. But I just want to do my 4 years, do my time, and get out because I wasn't going to be a lifer, you know. And I wanted to get back and see some of my own college, high school friends, whatever, my mom, you know, my friends and stuff. I had a little plan, but it always doesn't go right, you know. But so the last 8 months, I got detached from 3rd Battalion, 2nd Marine. I went to a Camp Geiger, which was an infantry school, which they had a chow hall there, so I had to supply all the little young greenhorns coming in. You know? Yeah. And that's where we had my first sergeant. He was a mean he was a mean bastard. I didn't like that guy. He was just hardcore. He had a salad bar this big and rah, you know.
A lot of ribbons.
Yep. Good for him. He did his time. But he was a hard ass, and he's the one that busted me down because I got in a little trouble with the out on base, and then But then I stayed there for 6 months. Did my duty there for 6 months, and
get your rank back then? Or?
I did not. No, he didn't give it back to me. No, he was just no.
the way it was.
Yeah. So yeah, I E4 for right when I got back in the golf, and then I got busted back down to E3 and never got it ranked. But you know, I wasn't. I mean, it happens. You know, I wasn't the only one that got in trouble. You know, but I really had it pretty clean. That was the only thing. You know, I wanted my good conduct medal. I never got it because of that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's too bad.
Yep. But yeah. So then I come home, and then it was perfect time, October time. So it was like this time. So my dad was still on the farm. He, you know, hey, we need drivers. So I started digging beats for him. And then I had a plan. I was getting into a school up, you know, because of GMGI. I wanted to get to school.
School for where?
It was in Moorhead. I wanted to go to AVTI. I wanted to become an electrician, like a big power line guy. I was thinking there was an opening there, but then that got closed off. And then they said, well, you can get into this electrical drafting thing. And I go, what's that? It's called CAD, computer aided drafting. I go, well, let me try it. Okay, I'll just see if I like it. Doing stuff drafting on the computer, and then that's what I started.
Best thing that ever happened.
Yeah, I guess, and then it kept. Here I am today, working for John Deere.
Yeah. So you're married?
I was married. Yes, I'm widowed. My wife, she, heartfelt for that, but
She suffered
ALS.
a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
sad times.
So now you're working for John Deere?
Yeah, I'm working for John Deere.
How long have you been there?
I'm going on 24 years. It'll be
Really?
well, February it'll be 24 years for me. I went in there on February of 2000. That's kind of easy. So February 2020 it'll be going on like 23 years basically.
Yeah.
Designing electronics the whole 23 years, and before that I was designing electronics too, which basically is nothing to do with my draftsman, but it is on-the-job training where we take a schematic and we make a little printed circuit board out of it. That's what I've been doing for basically almost 30 years now. So, but it's kind of proudful. I have a lot of pride in it because working for John Deere, they're a really good company. But I got into the engine controller business too, where I have to help create a lot of engine controllers. And right now, this day, our intake, the air coming into our intake, is being cleaner on the exhaust than it is coming in.
Seriously?
Yeah. I mean, it costs more, less power. The farmers hate it, but it's good for the environment. I mean,
right. And it's got to be set down by 2050 or something. Isn't it?
Yeah. It can't be stepped down that much more anymore. But something new will come in. But electronics is where the future is basically going.
Think they'll ever be electric?
Oh yeah, they're already electric already. We already got electric vehicles out there.
Remote?
We're doing that right now. A2A, it's called autonomous to automatic to autonomous or something like that. Yeah, we got that. Yeah.
Sitting here.
You'll sit here and push a button, our tractor will take off out of the Quonset and go to the field. Crazy.
Program it to do it. Yeah. It'd be fun to watch some of these farmers not run into anything.
Or even, I don't know how they're going to get these truck drivers.
Yeah.
How they're going to get these trucks to go and do that. But
yeah.
Very exciting times, though. What keeps me going is the challenges every day that we do with John Deere in the electrical field, because sometimes we can't find the component because it's all allocated somewhere else, or we design it and all of a sudden something else has it and it becomes obsolete within 6 months.
Do a lot of ordering through DigiKey then?
Yes, we get a lot of parts from DigiKey. Not really production parts, but a lot of parts. I mean, a lot of
surface mount parts.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anything in your military anything you want to go back on, or can you think of?
I'm just so fortunate to meet the people that when I enlisted. I was kind of scared at first enlisting because I see the old hoorah. I saw my cousin going enlisted. I go, oh, I want to be that. I look sharp, dress blues and stuff. And then I got sick and back, like, why am I going to lose all my friends here? I'm not going to, I'm not going to get to see my parents. I'm not going to see my family and friends, blah, blah, blah. And then once you get into the Corps, once you got into the Corps in a good time, and it went by so fast.
That's your family too, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah. It is my brothers, yeah. I've got a lot of good people from there and met so many good friends. But, I wish everybody would go through it. Learn a little more respect. I learned a lot more. I thought I learned respect for the flag and my veterans and all that stuff, but you learn a lot. I feel like I've learned a lot more respect for my not only my country, but my people that fought for it. You know. So,
You know, Mark,
yeah.
it would be good for you to do. Come on Memorial Day or Veterans Day and speak.
Oh, really? Yeah. My mom asked me that many times. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not a very good out in the audience. I kind of choke up. I don't know what I'm saying sometimes. Maybe if I wrote something down, I guess. But
Yeah,
yeah.
I might be looking for you in
Oh,
the
yeah.
future. So anything else you want to add, Mark?
That's pretty much in a nutshell. I don't know if there's any. Yeah. I'm very fortunate, and I was pretty happy I went to the Corps because it set some values, and I got to see a lot of the world.
All right. Well, Mark, I want to thank you for doing this interview, and I want to thank you for your service.
I appreciate it. Thank you too.